Good morning and welcome back. I'm Errol Barnett as we both look live at Beirut right now. This is Lebanon's capital city. It's about 2:30 in the afternoon there. The southern part of the city has been under attack as Israel exchanges strikes with Iran-backed Hezbollah militants. Begin our top stories with the fast-moving conflict in the Middle East. New for you this morning, several U.S. warplanes crashed in Kuwait. U.S. Central Command released a statement about 90 minutes ago saying they were involved in, quote, an apparent friendly fire incident. The crew members all survived. As for the fighting with Iran, the Pentagon confirms 3 U.S. service members were killed in action. In a video posted to social media, President Trump justified U.S. strikes by saying Iran posed imminent threats. He also confirmed the Ayatollah was killed and said the military operation will continue until, quote, all objectives are achieved. Here's his message to the Iranian people.
Be brave, be bold, be heroic, and take back your country. America is with you. I made a promise to you, and I fulfilled that promise.
Let's show you a live look at Capitol Hill now. Sources tell CBS News lawmakers expect to be briefed on the Iran attack tomorrow. Democrats and some Republicans are urging Congress to pass a war powers resolution this week. Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna says now that fighting has begun, passing this resolution is even more crucial.
If you're not voting for this war powers resolution, you basically have Lindsey Graham's view, which is that the president gets to decide wars. Either you are on the side of no more Middle East wars or you're on the side of Lindsey Graham. That's what this vote is about.
And we have this item just into our newsroom. CENTCOM now confirms at least 4 U.S. service members have been killed in this conflict. You're looking at footage of oil refineries, and that's because this conflict is sending oil prices soaring. Tehran's retaliation in the Gulf sent disruptions throughout the global energy supply chain. The Strait of Hormuz, which flows between Iran and Oman, remains a critical oil choke point. Shipping traffic has dropped about 20% of the world's, or I should say, about 20% of the world's oil is shipped through there. Now we have a team of correspondents chasing every angle of this story for you this morning. Weijia Zhang is standing by at the White House. But we begin this half hour with CBS News senior national security correspondent Charlie D'Agata, who is in Tel Aviv continuing his reporting. Charlie, good morning to you. Give us the latest on what this looks and feels like where you are.
Yeah, good morning, Errol. So first of all, we got the confirmation about those F-15 fighter jets from our sources at Central Command, who are sort of coordinating the operation in this region. We'd already been in touch with them about 3 U.S. service members. Now, as you just updated, 4 U.S. service members who have been killed. There are another probably 4 wounded, because we had 5 that were wounded. I guess one of those individuals succumbed to their injuries. This is all happening in Kuwait, these incidents. It's a major U.S. ally and within easy striking distance from Iran.
Footage appears to show flames shooting from the F-15 Strike Eagle fighter jet before it spirals out of control in the skies above Kuwait, one of 3 F-15s apparently downed by friendly fire. The pilot ejected and was filmed recovering in the trunk of a car after the aircraft were mistakenly hit by Kuwaiti air defenses. All 6 aircrew ejected safely, according to a statement from U.S. Central Command. Kuwait, also the site of the first U.S. combat deaths of the military operation President Trump announced overnight Saturday.
Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime, a vicious group of very hard, terrible people.
The joint operation with Israel hit hard and fast. Israel Defense Forces released this video saying it shows a regime headquarters leveled with multiple missile strikes. IDF spokesman Lieutenant Colonel Nadav Shoshani revealed to us details of the operation to kill Iran's Ayatollah Ali Khamenei.
A coordinated attack on multiple locations, decapitating the Iranian leadership.
Simultaneously?
Yes.
Including Ayatollah Ali Khamenei.
Khamenei was part of those who were eliminated in the first minute of the operation.
First minute?
We had real-time intelligence about a gathering.
Not just the Ayatollah, but around 40 high-level leaders in the very first minutes of the war. Announced on state television, the country went into official mourning, though videos on social media showed groups of people celebrating the leader's death. Iranian state media also claimed a girls' school in southern Iran was hit by a missile. More than 150 are reported to have died. The Iranian military vowed revenge and sent a salvo of missiles into Israel. One, a direct hit on a shelter in a synagogue west of Jerusalem, killing at least 9 people. A day after a residential neighborhood in downtown Tel Aviv was shattered by a strike that left a woman dead and dozens injured. Across the United Arab Emirates, hundreds of drones reported hitting luxury complexes in Dubai. In neighboring Qatar, residents in the capital Doha ran in terror as part of a missile dropped from the sky before exploding on a street filled with people. U.S. military officials tell CBS News both of its aircraft carriers in the region, the Abraham Lincoln and the USS Gerald R. Ford, have been part of this fight. And around 200 combat aircraft from across the region are either attacking Iran or defending against counterattacks.
And in more signs of this widening war, also in Kuwait this morning, eyewitnesses report seeing smoke rising from the vicinity of the U.S. Embassy compound. In Lebanon, Hezbollah has fired missiles toward Israel, with Israel retaliating overnight. Saudi Arabia says its oil facilities were also targeted by Iranian drones. And again, this is all happening this morning. Sirens sounding off at a British military base in the Mediterranean. That was hours after it was evacuated after an Iranian drone hit the runway there. Daryl?
Yeah, all of this still unfolding where you are. Charlie, thank you very much. CBS News senior White House correspondent Weijia Zhang has more on President Trump's rationale for this war. Weijia, good morning. Help our viewers understand why the U.S. is doing this.
Good morning, Errol. Well, that is a very difficult question, but in his latest remarks, we do know that President Trump said it is America's responsibility to do something about Iran's threat to the world. As for his decision to take out Iran's supreme leader, in a late interview with ABC last night, the president said, quote, "I got him before he got me."
President Trump offered a thumbs up after landing in Washington last night, but he ignored mounting questions about Iran hours after posting this update on social media.
Combat operations continue at this time in full force, and they will continue until all of our objectives are achieved.
For the first time, Trump spoke about the 3 U.S. service members who were killed, offering condolences, but warning to expect more U.S. casualties.
Sadly, there will likely be more. Before it ends, that's the way it is. Likely be more, but we'll do everything possible where that won't be the case.
On Sunday, the president said the operation could last another month, with the senior White House official telling CBS News the new potential leadership in Iran has indicated they want to talk. But early this morning, Iran's security chief appeared to shut the door on that, posting, "We will not negotiate with the United States." Democratic Senator Chris Murphy said on Face the Nation that new leadership will not necessarily mean a new Iran.
I'm rooting for democracy in Iran, but the most likely outcome here is that hardliners take over the government, they restart their missile program, they restart their nuclear program, and we're just right back at bombing them again.
Democrats are also criticizing the administration's explanation for attacking Iran, that there was an imminent threat to the U.S. Republicans argue the threat was always looming.
Iran no longer being led by a theocratic, murderous dictator, that makes America much, much safer.
This week, Democrats plan to force a vote on a measure that would require President Trump to seek congressional approval before taking further military action in Iran. It likely doesn't have enough support, but the Republican co-sponsor of that bill, Thomas Massie, said it is really important to get lawmakers on the record about whether they support or are against this conflict. Errol.
Yeah. All right. Weijia Zhang at the White House. Thank you, Weijia. We turn our attention now to the situation inside Iran following the death of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Khamenei was both revered by supporters and reviled by opponents. His death has been met with public displays of mourning, but also joy and relief. CBS News foreign correspondent MTS Tayeb is in Oman.
Good morning. Well, the assassination of Iran's supreme leader, the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, killed in a CIA-coordinated airstrike on his home and offices in Tehran at the age of 86, has thrown the future of the regime he spent decades reshaping into his own image into grave doubt.
Cheers erupted from Tehran's rooftop as word spread that the supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, was dead. On Sunday, tens of thousands of Islamic Republic loyalists then filled the streets to mourn the man who ruled Iran for nearly 4 decades, longer than any other ruler in the Middle East. At home, Khamenei's legacy is defined by ruthless control, including the brutal crackdown of dissent, like the mass killings of thousands of demonstrators in January. Despite a heavily sanctioned economy, he spent lavishly on the so-called axis of resistance, all bound by hostility towards the United States and Israel. Now killed by his arch-rivals, Khamenei has been elevated as a martyr by his supporters, a fate he appeared to anticipate. According to reports, last month, Khamenei issued detailed contingency orders in the event of his death, instructing senior military and government leaders to name up to 4 replacements. And under Iran's constitution, a 3-person leadership council has been put in power until a new supreme leader is formally named.
To be brave,
President Trump has urged Iranians to, quote, take over their government. But the president has not said who or what system should replace Khamenei. Some Iranians want this man, Reza Pahlavi, the son of the late ousted Shah. Speaking to 60 Minutes, Pahlavi thanks President Trump for what he called his intervention.
My message to President Trump is that I'm here to echo and join millions of my compatriots inside and outside of Iran to thank him for having done and having the courage to do what is not easy, but intervene.
But even as Pahlavi talks transition, President Trump is signaling a pivot, saying overnight Iran's current leaders, quote, want to talk. And while top security officials in Tehran deny that, it raises a fundamental question. Does the president still want regime change, or will he make a deal with what's left of the Iranian regime? Back to you.
All right, MTS Tayeb, thank you.